Hello, I'm David Lehman. Welcome to As the Key Turns, and I just wanted to talk a little bit today about what a prison guard like myself might do after retirement. Now, I'm not the only one that does things like this. So what you're seeing here is a combination of many things that I've learned while I was at the penitentiary that put me in good stead to do a business. This business is storage. It's about 120,000 square feet of storage space, over 900 rooms and doors. And what we've learned here is a lot about technology. So I'm going to show you pictures of solar powered cameras. I use these in Guyana too to protect myself as well. Solar powered cameras. We hook them to a router which can be on the internet, but when the internet goes down, it doesn't matter. It continuously records. They record at each camera point, and there's a recorder near the router. So it's recording in two places. So if you went around and destroyed every camera, it wouldn't matter. I still got a copy, and if you were able to locate the router and the recorder there, it wouldn't matter because I still got all these other cameras, and then the chips to all this stuff is like as big as my little fingernail. So you'd really have to do a lot of destruction to get through here. We also have electronic gates that open and close with a clicker, or they open and close on a schedule. I put them on a schedule. So after midnight, I've noticed, is when usually the thugs come out and destroy things and steal. And so here in America, we got to worry about thugs of all stripes. I mean, some of them don't look like thugs, but they are thugs. And just like the inmates that I used to take care of, there's every creed, color, religion, whatever you want to call it, of thug. They're still thugs, so you have to worry about them. So I do. And after midnight is when the majority of this stuff takes place. And I'll show you there's motion detectors here too, so that after the gate shuts, if there's any motion, all I got to do is look on my phone, and I'll take a picture of some of that too. And it tells me what, where. I mean, there's over 30 some cameras that are electronic that I can see from anywhere in the world. And then there's another 20 cameras that are only recording here. So there's over 50 cameras in this facility, and there's over 10 motion detectors, and then we have the gates that keeps people out, as well as I put up chain link and barbed wire and razor wire. I learned after in the prison, razor wire is a really vicious wire. They won't even allow the military to use this stuff. They use concertina wire in the military, and that pretty much grabs you, but razor wire cuts you open. I've seen inmate try to climb over the razor wire. It tore all of his clothes off, and he eventually ended up just hanging upside down while bleeding profusely from all the cuts all over him. He looked like somebody used him for a scratching post, and when he was done, and they had to go get a cherry picker to get him off the wire. He didn't do that again. So I used some of that technology and some of the things that I learned at the penitentiary to apply it to the security of this storage facility. So that's why you see a lot of the things here, and even down to the lockout tagout program that they have for electrical things. Well, these latches here, I've got several different kinds, one of which uses a cylinder lock that you actually slide into a little hole and turn it so that there's no way that you can get a what's it called, a lock cutting mechanism, bolt cutter on it. And so it defeats that purpose. The best way to get into these is take your nice pretty car and crash into them as hard as you can with your car and knock the whole door apart and cause a big ruckus, and somebody will probably hear you and call the cops. It's happened in the past. Not too long ago, that something very similar to that happened, and the cops were here within just minutes, because, you know, in this little town in America, that's the way it is. And yeah, this will probably, you'll probably see this sometime in the winter, but this is summer now. It takes me 3, 4, 5 months to get around to doing this stuff. And when I'm in America, I'm so busy that I barely got time to just make a video. So I don't have time to do the editing and the research and all that stuff. So that's why you'd be seeing it now. So it was a video that I did months ago that talked about, you know, what I learned in prison and how it related. Well, this is an actual example of that sort of thing, where what I learned in prison I used for practicality here for security. So this has probably got the best security in this half of Illinois. I mean, barbed wire and razor wire chain link fences, motion detectors in the alleyways, bolt resistant locks. Not a bad place to store your stuff. And I get very few burglaries or attempted burglaries than my neighbors do. Matter of fact, the last burglar that we had got sentenced not long ago. That's why I was here. That and the Serling Fest that's going to be in New York. I'm going to go to that. That's just next week. So Serling Fest and the burglary. I wanted to be present for his trial, and he ended up pleading guilty, and he got 3 years in a penitentiary. So good for us, and we were able to prove that. We have cameras here that can read your license plate in the pitch black and see every detail of your face when you drive through the gate, if you're dumb enough to do that. And if you jump the chain link fence, doesn't matter. Detector will know that you're moving around, and the cameras will take pictures of you, and we'll get you anyway. So all we got to do is lay our hands on you. We had a trespasser one day that just ran across the property. He jumped one of the gates, which I've since cured the problem there. And if you can see it in the pictures I took of the gate, you'll notice that there's nails glued to the top of all the surfaces that you could put your foot on now, because that's what he did. He put his foot on stuff and then he jumped over the fence. He ran across the property, set off all kinds of alarms. The cops got called, and then he ran away, and he ended up way out in one of the fields somewhere cussing at the cops because the guy's probably insane. I mean, if you're a criminal, don't you just try to run away and get away? Not this idiot. So that's the practicality of working in a prison. You end up owning a 120,000 square foot storage facility, and it's run by other people. So wherever I'm at in the world, all I do is make a few phone calls, look at the paperwork that they're submitting all online, and I'm running this facility from anywhere in the world that I happen to be. And all of that was from what I learned at the penitentiary from the guys that did this kind of work. I would ask the camera guys, hey, how does that camera work? What do you hook it up with? How does this go? How does that go? All those kinds of things. And then the internet, you know, how does the internet work there? What the heck does a router do? Do I actually need, oh, yes. And then there is, if the power goes out, no problem. Got a generator. Runs off of propane, so I don't need gasoline that will degrade. Propane never degrades. So I've got this 500-gallon tank that'll make this place run for at least a month without power. So all our lights will work that way. Our anti-trespassing system runs that way. And of course the fences don't need power, but the gate does. And all that's taken care of by my own power if the juice ever gets turned off. So we're ready for the end of the world. Not to mention that if I'm here when I come out, when there's an alarm or something, I have a bullet-resistant vest, a 12-gauge shotgun, and a 45 automatic that I carry when I come out here. So if it turns out that it's a maniac and he decides to run over me or stab me or shoot me or whatever, you know, I'm prepared for that too, because as a ex-soldier, ex-prison guard, ex-cop, you just learn to be prepared for anything. So that's just the practicalities of what I learned in prison. Now, if you like this video, by all means, hit the like button, and it won't kill you to subscribe, I promise you.